We will now open up the meeting for Thursday, May 3rd, 2018.
Gary Bowden.
Here.
Frank Ferrari.
Here.
Marshall Goff.
Here.
Brian Kennedy. Chad Sigmund.
Here.
Vice Mayor Malvajo.
Here.
Mayor Goins. Here. This evening we have our prayer and pledge by Councilmember Sigmund.
Will everyone please bow their head and join me in the Lord's Prayer? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the minutes of the special session of April 17, 2018.
So moved. Second.
If no objections, motion carries.
Approval of the minutes of the regular session of April 19, 2018.
So moved. Second.
If no objections, motion carries.
This time we have a special presentation.
Yes, I'd like to invite Chief Scott and Captain Cindy Murphy to please come to the front of the room. Chief, I'll go ahead and turn the program over to you.
Okay, in case you're wondering why the fire department is here, Captain Murphy received a scholarship from the National Fire Protection Association to go to their annual conference, June the 10th. It's in Las Vegas. So they're paying her way to go down there and tell fire service professionals about her smoke detector program that she has been doing. And a little brief thing about what the National Fire Protection Association does. They set the standards for everything we do in the fire service, from training, fire trucks, to the tools we carry. So it's a big deal. And I will let Captain Murphy explain to you, in case you don't know, what her program is, briefly.
At this point, if you don't know what my program's about, you haven't been paying much attention to anything I've been screaming. I was asked by the Child Advocacy Service to be part of their program, where they go into the school and they talk about safety. And part of what I was doing was going in and talking about fire safety. We were talking about smoke alarms. The unfortunate thing was, in January of 2015, after I started doing that, we lost 3 people in Harrison County, 2 of which were children, 1 of which I'd had in one of my classes. And the unfortunate part about it was that even though I told her that it was important for her to have a working smoke alarm, I had no way to prove that she did. So I made a decision that day, and we were going to change that. So for the last 3-4 years, I have been going into all of the schools in Harrison County with the blessing of the fire chief, the city council, and the city of Clarksburg in general has been fantastic for supporting me. And at this point, I've been able to put in the hands of children. I can't swear that they're all up, but we put in over 3,742 smoke alarms into the hands of the child. And part of what we do is ask them to take a picture with it up and make sure that those are getting up. And we've got some things that we're going to work to do that, but it's been a privilege to be able to do that. And I just went to Johnson Elementary yesterday. We did 100 kids. Tomorrow I'll actually be at Simpson. We'll do 74 kids, and then I'll have Heritage Christian. And that will finish out the year, and we'll do about 750 this year. We've got to remember that the fact of the matter is that about every 3 hours we have somebody that dies in a home fire. 3 out of 5 of those do not have a working smoke alarm. And I can go to a doctor's, I can go to a lawyer's, I can go to a firefighter's house, and I can find a not working smoke alarm. Your son, your granddaughter actually received one of the first smoke alarms that we passed out.
It was a blessing.
And Nathan and Tara heard the alarm. And if I've ever asked for a sign for anything, when I woke up that morning and got the message from Nathan that they had, put that smoke alarm up, that Brooklyn brought home, they put it up, and that happened to be in our jurisdiction, and happened to be somebody that I knew personally and somebody that I've worked with for years with his family. So I'm grateful to the city of Clarksburg for supporting me in this, and we've branched out. I'm over in the Aurora School in Preston County. We do all the first grade there. I work with the Rotary Club over in Tucker County, and we do their first grade classes there too. So, we're branching out, and everywhere I go, I sing the praises of the city of Clarksburg and the fire department that I work with. It's been allowed to to spread that word. And we're hoping on Saturday, which is the Sound the Alarm Day, we're working with the Red Cross, and we have over 60 families that have signed up in the city of Clarksburg to put up. So B-Ship, my fellow firefighters back there, and the Red Cross and I will be out on Saturday in our community, and we'll be putting up anywhere from 2 to 3 in each of those homes. So we could very easily have 130 brand-new smoke alarms in this county, or in this city. And that's not what's just going on in our city, it's going on all over the state fire marshal's office has been just invaluable. He wants to bring those down to 0 fatalities, and we're working hard to make that happen, at least here in Clarksburg.
There's no program like this anywhere in the United States, and she has done such a good job with that. So.
Captain Murphy, I'd like to say something. This week, the city clerk and I got to witness Captain Murphy firsthand at Emmanuel Christian School. And I have to say, it was quite impressive if you've not been to one of these demonstrations. And I raised the question, I said, if you didn't come here and explain all this to the students, how would they ever know this? And your response was, they wouldn't.
Sometimes they won't.
Yeah, so it's invaluable. And for that reason, we have a little presentation to you tonight. Presented to Captain Cindy Murphy, Clarksburg Fire Department. With sincere appreciation for your services to the city of Clarksburg and for spearheading the invaluable Operation Not One More program that provides smoke detectors to Harrison County first graders. Presented by Clarksburg City Council, May 3rd, 2018. Thank you.
We have another special presentation this evening. Councilmember Sigmund.
I'd like to invite Lisa Price and Sean Nicely up. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and green is the color for mental health awareness. So I thought I'd represent and give a proclamation. A proclamation, whereas mental health is essential to everyone's overall health and well-being, and whereas all Americans experience times of difficulty and stress in their lives, and whereas prevention is an effective way to reduce the burden of mental health conditions, and whereas there's a strong research that diet, exercise, sleep, and stress management can help all Americans protect their health and well-being, and whereas mental health conditions are real and prevalent in our nation, and whereas with effective treatment, those individuals with mental health conditions can recover and lead full, productive lives. And whereas each business, school, government agency, healthcare provider, organization, and citizen shares the burden of mental health problems and has a responsibility to promote mental awareness and support prevention efforts. And whereas gratitude and appreciation is expressed to United Summit Center, a premier provider of quality behavioral health services, working diligently to ensure that such health care services are available and accessible to those in need. So now, therefore, I, Catherine A. Goings, the mayor of the city of Clarksburg, do hereby proclaim May 2018 as Mental Health Awareness Month in the city of Clarksburg, and call upon all citizens, government agencies, public and private institutions, businesses, and schools to recommit our community to increasing awareness and understanding of mental health. So I'd like to present this to you, Lisa Price. It shines on nicely. Thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Council.
You mind you get a picture with all of us?
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, all you do. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have no petitions, City Manager's report and update.
So the general updates, sidewalk programs, the applications have become available for property owners as of Tuesday, May 1st. The applications are evaluated on a first-come, first-served basis. And then as of Thursday, May 3rd, 17 applications have been distributed and 3 applications have been returned, equaling $5,900 towards, dedicated towards this, and we have a $30,000 budget for this line item. Spring cleanup, Public Works Department completed the spring cleanup. The Public Works collected 253 tons and made 220 trips to the landfill using the various Public Works trucks with a total cost of $9,620 and landfill tipping fees. The road slippage issues we've experienced throughout the city from the late winter and early spring. In response to the request for proposals for engineering firms to provide engineering services to assist with addressing the road slips throughout the city, we have received 8 proposals. The administration is in the process of reviewing the submitted proposals, scheduling interviews with selected firms, and negotiating the contract amount. And then the administration will submit the request to council to consider it at its meeting tentatively on Thursday, May 17th. Demolition, 1401 Adams Avenue. The city administration had requested quotes from 3 contractors to raise the fire burnt structure. The lowest quote was provided by Feline Excavation, the amount of $13,300. The administration does recommend waive competitive bidding and authorizing the contract. Yard waste collection vehicle is also on the agenda. The bid opening was conducted on Tuesday, May 1st at 2 p.m. 3 bids were submitted by 2 vendors. The administration recommends awarding the bid to the second lowest bid in the amount of $108,600 to West Virginia Tractor Company from Charleston, West Virginia. And this is pursuant to West Virginia Code 5A-3-37. West Virginia Tractor Company is a West Virginia preferred vendor, and they properly stated this within their bid at the time of it being submitted. Downtown cleanup on Wednesday evening, May 2nd. The Public Works Department had crews working throughout the downtown area, providing sidewalk and street maintenance. The crews did prepare and are prepared to move forward at least one evening per week to do similar maintenance duties of downtown. So if you've been downtown, you'll notice a big difference from earlier this week. They did it once before earlier this year, but there was a lot of debris that accumulated, as well as debris from a lot of the patching of the holes from when the DOH came through. Police, the testing. The written test was administered last night. 12 candidates did complete the written test, of which 7 passed. Physical ability test, there'll be another one this Saturday, May 5th at 10 a.m. at RCB High School, which only the ones who took the written test and passed would be eligible to go and take the physical ability test. So 5 out of the 7 will be required to pass this physical ability test this Saturday. And 1 candidate is a certified officer that is in the process as of now. Bike patrol, Sergeant Moore and Officer Paul will begin bike patrol intermittently beginning this month. So that'll begin next week. Economic development, Robinson Grand, construction update. Installation of the ticket booth windows is about 90 or 85% completed. Door frame installation in the entire building is approximately 99% complete. Drywall installation is 90% complete in the main theater building and concession area. Installation of the new stairway in the front entry to the ballroom is 90% completed. The handrail installation in the balcony aisle is 80% complete. The framing of the upper balcony box seats is about 90% complete. The paint application in the ballroom is approximately 80% completed. And the steel structure for the blade sign on the exterior has also been painted. And the stage rigging line set installation is approximately 45% completed. So you see them making much more progress as we move forward towards the completion of this as well. The advertisement for the operations manager for the theater was also out and posted. We received the applications and resumes from interested candidates. The administration will be interviewing 5 candidates for this position beginning next week, the week of May 7th. Ribbon cuttings, Terradon Engineering will be Tuesday, May 15th, 11 a.m., located at 102 South 2nd Street. There's also a press release that will be released tomorrow about Terradon and their new location here in Clarksburg, but it's the former Mullins & Mullins office on 2nd Street where they're located. Rest Care, They've also located to Chase Building, Suite 200, and we are in the process of setting up a ribbon cutting for them as well. Like the manager.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
When you say that the bike patrol will have 2 officers conducting those patrols intermittently, does that mean they're occasionally going to be doing it, or are you saying they're going to alternately be on patrol on a regular basis?
Well, as they're afforded the opportunity to patrol on their bikes, they have bike racks on their vehicles, depending on how the shift is staffed, to what level. The minimum is 4, so if they have more than 4, they can go out on the shift and do the bike patrol. If they're not, then they need to be in the vehicles, in the neighborhoods patrolling.
Okay.
Unfinished business. Consideration of second and final reading and public hearing of an ordinance of the City of Clarksburg amending Article 15.01 of Part 13 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Clarksburg by amending the zoning map, rezoning all that certain lot or parcel of land containing 0.16 acre situated on South 23rd Street in the City of Clarksburg, Coal District, Harrison County, West Virginia, designated as Parcel 216 on Tax Map 8 from its current status as a residential 2 district to a business 1 district. Notices regarding the public hearing appeared in the Exponent Telegram on April 24 and May 1.
We will now open this up for a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against may do so at this time. And I might make note that Mr. Goodwin is here in the event that anybody would have any questions for him.
Do you want to speak to what you're going to do, or?
Thank you for considering the prospects of rezoning that. I appreciate it. The purpose of the building that I'd like to put up there is for my personal use of storage of some older vehicles. It's difficult around this area as there's many people that have the antique vehicles and special limited production vehicles to find a place to store them. Since the Alice warehouse was closed or sold to someone else, he was storing over 40 vehicles in there for people. So consequently, it put a hardship on some people to find places to store their vehicles. But these are for my personal ones that I have at my location where I live now, a few of them, and the others are at my son's house on Corbin Ranch. So we desire to be able to have them closer to our home, and as such then be able to do some minor work and so on as we begin to restore them. We have 2 of them that are now have been restored, and looking forward to starting on another one here in just a few weeks. But, that's the purpose and reason why we would like to have the property rezoned to B1, so that if anything in the future we had to do that we needed a place to do it in, we do all the city police cars, have for years. We do Bridgeports, we do the sheriff's vehicles, fire trucks, and so on for different fire departments. My son now owns the business, I do not. I gave it to him in 2005. But occasionally, we can't find a location when they're wanting something done, and it puts a damper on us getting the work accomplished for them on time. So we would have a place to pull the vehicle in to accomplish what they was wanting done for that vehicle. Appreciate you considering it, and the opportunity to be able to present the information to you.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, can I ask one other question? Because I talked to Mr. Goodwin. Would you explain that there was an adjacent property that had concerns? It doesn't appear that there's somebody here tonight to express any serious reservations about doing this, but you mentioned to me that you would even be willing to create some kind of a document that might protect the property in the future, so there was some control over future use of that property. Am I stating that correctly?
Yes, I'll be willing to do so. We have butt up against a property just on one side, and Mr. Barnes. I'd be willing to create a document giving him the first opportunity to buy the property if it was ever sold, because there were some concerns about if we sold it, what would be put in there. And we would not, if we would ever get to the point of wanting to sell it, either myself, my wife, or my children, it would state in that document that it could not be put on the open market, where it would be given to a real estate company to advertise so they could sell it to anybody. But we would try our best to find somebody that would want to use it for the same purpose we are going to use it for. And I don't anticipate there will be any problem whatsoever in doing that, as there's more and more old vehicle interest and restoration of them throughout this city area. Some of you may have been to some of these car shows like out at TNL. Last September, they had 230 vehicles there. So there's a great deal of interest, and I'm sure that somebody, maybe if Mr. Goff himself would, or the chief of police would like to buy the property for storage of their vehicles. But I'd be willing to create a document, have a lawyer do so, have it notarized, and so on, and I would abide by that.
Mr. Goodwin, I'm kind of curious, what type of vehicles do you have?
Well, right now, the one that has been completely restored is a '66 Dodge Coronet hardtop. We are now completing a '73 Volkswagen Beetle, a '68 Camaro convertible, a 1984 Mustang, the 20th anniversary one, a '66 Chevrolet Impala that had belonged to my father. Also a limited production Olds Toronado that only 530 of them were built. And overall, I've got a 71 Gremlin.
I was just kind of curious.
You're not going to
Thank
keep
you.
the Gremlin with those other cars, are you?
They now are considered a classic.
Yeah, I'll bet. I'll bet.
All right,
Like an
thank
Edsel.
you. Okay, we will now close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
New business, consideration of a resolution of the Council of the City of Clarksburg amending the Clarksburg Comprehensive Plan update of 1997 and 2010.
Madam Mayor, I move for adoption of this resolution by title.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration to waive competitive bidding for the demolition of the fire burnt structure located at 1401 Adams Avenue and to award the contract therefore to Feline Excavation in the amount of $13,300.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Consideration to award the contract for the purchase of the yard waste collection truck.
Madam Mayor, I move, based on the city manager's recommendation and the state code requirements, that we award the bid for purchase of a yard waste collection truck to West Virginia Tractor Company in the amount of $108,600.
Second.
All in favor signify by
Discussion. I
discussion.
just want to make a point that Hino Motors is also a West Virginia company, which is what they're suggesting in this bid. And have just made a huge investment in mineral wells where they're going to take over what was some kind of a distribution, Clearwater or something, big plant there. So they just recently made a huge investment in our state. Just thought I'd make that point. Thank you.
Good point. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Council comments?
Anybody?
I just want to say, Mr. Goodwin, I appreciate you coming today and also offering to make a legal document. I at first had some hesitations, creating a precedent of having a residential go to a B1, but after looking at the parcels, as all the other properties, the parcels are all already B1s, and it doesn't mean in the future that other residentials that are applying for B1s will be approved. But I appreciate you coming and letting us know what your intentions are with the property. And it seems like no one else was here to oppose the change as well. And so thank you.
Create a document document stating all that, do you want a copy of it?
Do we necessarily need it? I don't think, we don't necessarily need it. It's basically between you and the neighbor. Thank you. Does anybody else have any other comments?
I'd like to thank Mr. West, who's with Planning and Zoning. Last week, he stood up and explained some of his reasons that he had apprehensions about making a change like this. It does set a precedent, and I think we owe him a little debt of gratitude for coming and helping us sift through this, and appreciate you doing that.
And it's good, good learning and good information for us, so we appreciate that.
Anybody else have any?
Okay.
Madam Mayor, pursuant to Chapter 6, Article 9A, Section 4 of the West Virginia Code, I move the council adjourn into executive session to discuss matters involving the purchase, sale, or lease of property, advanced construction planning, the investment of public funds, or other matters involving competition, which, if made public, might adversely affect the financial or other interest of the city, and that the following persons be present: Mayor and members of council, the city manager, the assistant city manager, the finance director, and the city attorney.
All right, we'll go into
I need a
executive.
second.
Second.